Do you have the courage to become an absolute nobody? Hey, it's Lucas Scrobot, and you're listening to Weaver and Loom. So let me ask you, what takes more courage? Does it take more courage to become somebody that everyone knows, or to become absolute nobody and live in obscurity? Well, one of my favorite authors is JD Salinger, and one of my favorite quotes from him is from the book novella, really, Franny and Zooey. Franny is a young girl who's at university. She's in the theater program. She has hard times, drops out, goes to visit her brother, and as she's visiting her brother, she says this: "I'm not afraid to compete. It's just the opposite. Don't you see that? I'm afraid I will compete. That's what scares me. That's why I quit the theater department, just because I'm so horribly conditioned to accept everyone else's values. And just because I like applesauce and people rave about me, it doesn't make it right. I'm ashamed of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of not having the courage to be an absolute nobody. I'm sick of myself and everyone else that wants to make some kind of splash." Now, when I first read this years and years ago, it struck me so hard. I was like, oh my goodness, that is me. I want to make a splash, but I don't have courage to become an absolute nobody. But each and every one of us, deep down inside, we have a desire in the human spirit, in the human soul, in the psyche. There is this desire for greatness, but it's become misplaced. It's become placed in this wanting to make a splash, wanting to make a name for us, wanting to become famous, for people to know us, to have money, to achieve something. But I would like to propose to you that true greatness is something else. True greatness is not shining a spotlight on yourself, but true greatness is shining a spotlight on others, lifting others up, serving others in a generous and meaningful way. But like Franny said, we've all, in some ways, fallen into this conditioning to try to appease our peers and our friends around us, trying to match other people's values, other people's systems. Really, it's the fear of man, or the fear of our peers. It is vanity, wanting people to think well of us, wanting people to flatter us by saying nice things. But this isn't true greatness. And I do believe the path to true greatness is through true obscurity. Now, I don't mean sitting in a room and binge watching Netflix for the rest of eternity, becoming pasty white and never talking to another soul and hoping that you're forgotten. That's not real obscurity. That sounds like you throwing a pity party because nobody likes you and everybody hates you. But true obscurity is not living for yourself and for selfish gain, but true obscurity is living for others, living your life and setting up your life, ordering your life so that you are generous with others. Now, what's one of the greatest ways that we can be generous with those around us? It's by excelling and being great at what we do. It's being great at our craft, by not giving people mediocrity, but going deep, taking time to become a master at what we do and serving that to people who need it the most. The mark of a great business, and sign that a business will probably be highly successful, is if that business is serving the needs of people, of its clients, of people around it, rather than serving its own needs. Do you serve others through your craft, through your work, through your relationship? In your relationships, are you selfishly trying to pull so that you become well known, so that you become more influential so that you have a bigger platform, or so that people can give something to you? Or are you looking to serve those that you're in friendship with, to serve those that you're in a relationship through giving to them without an expectation of something in return? If we do the math and we look at the 7.7 billion people across the world, and then we look at ourselves and say, I want to have 1 million followers on Instagram. I want to win these awards and accolades and reach 1 million people. If I or if you reached 1 million people with our work, with our craft, we would only have touched 1/10,000th of a percent of the global population. It's negligible. It is so little, even if we're reaching 1 million people. Instead of trying to go wide and shallow with our work, hoping to reach the most amount of people, thinking that that is some sort of metric of greatness or metric of success, instead, we need to look at what is the smallest viable audience that we can serve. Not the smallest audience where we starve, but the smallest viable audience. What is the smallest group of people that we can give something to, make something for, and serve in a way that's generous, that says, here, I made this for you. I didn't make this for me, but I made this for you to make your world better, to make your life better, to be a blessing and generous to you. Because true greatness is not having a lot of knowledge. It's not having a lot of money. It's not having fame or accolades or awards. But true greatness is loving people through every interaction, loving our family, loving our friends, loving our clients. And how can we do that? But by serving them. Love is an act of service. So my question for you today is, do you have the courage to become an absolute nobody? Do you have the courage to be generous with your craft today? Now, I don't mean, do you have courage to give away your work for free and not charge anyone? I don't think that's actually generous, because you won't be able to do that sustainably. You'll end up going out of business. You'll end up malnourished because you can't actually buy food, and then you won't be able to do your work. But I mean, are you able to go the extra mile and to serve people in a way that does not attract attention to you, that does not shine light on you, but shines light on the person that you are serving, the person that you are seeking to improve their life or their business? So my challenge for you today is be generous with your clients, with your family, with your children, with your spouse. Be generous today in a way that gives to your tribe, in a way that draws attention to others rather than drawing attention to yourself. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Weaver and Loom. Please, if you have any questions, I would love to hear them. You can email me or DM me or send me a voicemail. My contact information is in the show notes. And as always, if you found this to be generous, if you found this to be helpful for you, think of someone else in your world, in your life, that you think it would also be helpful for. Thanks for listening. Until next time, I'm Lucas Skrobot, and this is Weaver and Loom, where destiny is woven.